Welcome back to Medieval Dynasty. Okay, well, after sleeping out in the rain all night, yes, that's what we did. We slept out in the rain all night because no one, of course, lets us sleep inside the village. Why would they? It's frustrating. It's like you're right by the village you need to work in, right? Right there it is. It's beautiful. We could just work there. No, you can't, because you can't. Now, let's see. Where do we have? We have a lot of quests in Oh, is that where I have to go, Rolnik? Oh, that's a distance and a half. So we have 3 towns up at the top, if you don't count the one that's over here by the river. And then there's one down there. All right, so we have a lot of quests we can pick up. I'm torn. There's a few things I want to do, but I also want to advance the storyline. And there's a reason why I want to advance the storyline. Like, I unlocked a couple things. Right off the bat, if you look at our technology, we could build a well, right? Well, for my first house, that doesn't really matter because I'm right by the lake. I already don't need a well. Maybe one a little closer to the center of town, sure. Well would be great. Love it. I want to build some fences, but I also have a resource storage. Again, helpful, maybe not right now, but soon. A hunting lodge. Again, awesome. We can make stone spears, which... oh, man, I kind of want to buy because that might be more beneficial than... oh, linen thread, though. That's a problem. We can make a hunting lodge, but again, there's a main storyline that's involved with that. Food storage, I could use that as well. There's a few things that I need. And I could build those things, but I'm also worried because if I build them too early, then I'll have to rebuild them again whenever the quest pops up. I don't know if it will retroactively give me credit for them or not. So I'm kind of erring on the side of caution rather than just kind of going for it and building things a little quicker. I know some people will probably end up building them ahead of time, and that's fine. I'm not saying that's wrong. It's actually probably a great thing, and to be honest, I would probably do it as well normally, but for right now, I'm not going to. 20 food. All right, I'll eat it. Look at that. Because I just have a good number of things to do here, so I'm supposed to wait. Let's see. Alwyn's story, wait for the next summer. So I don't have any years left until quest line. Oh, whoa, that's new. Years left until quest line expiration 6. So you have to finish this within 6 years. His story? Oh, 18 years for this one. Okay. And Uniegost. All right. So let's look at Uniegost right now. Because I'm not ready to talk to him. I didn't realize the quest had expiration dates. They didn't once upon a time. Is there anything in here? You know what? I'm going to make another axe. It doesn't hurt to have, and will probably lower my... well, it did lower it, not by as much as I thought it would, but that's okay. My weight. Now we got to find Uniegost again. I just hope he doesn't have such a huge exposition of text as he did the last time. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Uniegost? Hello, Rasimir. Are you getting settled? Well, I would be if you let me go back and start working, but, otherwise it's going good. It's going good, right? That's wonderful, right, Samir? But you come at a poor time. My duties as Castellan await me. All right. Yeah, whatever. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest. There's been a murder. Really? Now this game just got interesting. Okay, so my options are, oh my, I thought things like that didn't happen here too often. And great. I mean, not for the deceased, obviously, but there's that excitement and mystery the valley's been lacking. I don't know the option to go with. I guess I'll go with the first one. Oh, because they don't. I'm just about to go to the crime scene and question the witnesses, and I honestly don't know what to expect. Remember, everybody lies, and I'm sure you'll take good care of the matter. I'm not going to say everyone lies. We'll go there. Time will tell. Yeah, even it will break. Yes, even it will break. That's a weird option. Jokes aside, Rasmus, that's a really serious matter. I won't be able to share more stories with you at the moment, but I believe there is someone you should meet. His name is Sambor. He was one of us, the Pact, I mean. All right, so he lives here in the valley, I guess. That's right. Actually, all of them do. Here, I marked Sambor's house on your map. You should pay him a visit. But beware, calling Sambor friendly is like calling being stung by a bee right on the tip of your manhood. I can't say that would be pleasant. Okay. I'm sure you're exaggerating as part of the... didn't say I didn't warn you. All right, I'll be on my way. Wow. So there's been a murder. Sambor. All right, so where is Sambor again? Oh, that is a distance. But what we'll do is we'll head over and talk to Sambor, I guess. So let's run over there, see what he has to say, and maybe we'll make a loop around and pick up some quests. Well, I made it to Sambor's house. On the way, I was attacked by a wolf. So they did increase the AI a bit, though, which is interesting. They don't just sit around and let you attack them anymore. After you hurt them, they will run away. And the wolf took 2 spears and ran, so, you know, that was a thing. Oh, he does look unique. I think you lost, my boy. Sorry, didn't mean to oh, he's going to say disturb. Wait a second. Look at me in the eye. Oh, yeah, he only has 1. And stop shivering, for crying out loud. Huh, black and blue. You're Lorden's family, aren't you? Yep, name's Rasmir. You've been Oh, you must be Sambor then. Okay. I was talking with Uniegost. He told me that you were part of the reminders as well. Part of what now? The Pact? The one with Uniegost and Lorden? I've never heard this idiotic name in my life. Oh, sorry, maybe it was my mistake. We were called the Undying Fist. I don't think they have their stories straight. Now, that's a whole lot better name. You know, I do agree that's a better sounding name. That's because I came up with it. Everyone loved it. No idea why Uniegost lied to you about it. I'm sure he was just jealous about your creativity. Yeah, that's probably it, you know. Yeah, absolutely. I get it. Anyway, I would love to hear some stories about my uncle and the Pact's adventures all together. Okay. I guess. That's an amazing coincidence because I would love to spend my time telling the old tales by a crackling fire. He seems sarcastic. I like him. No, leave my property, forget where it is. Oh, okay. Okay, only take a moment of a moment, really. Just tell me, what was my uncle like? How did you become part of the whatever name that he wanted to pick? And what did you do exactly as the Pact? You don't know what we did? No, Uniegost didn't get past that part. All right. But be quiet and try to be less annoying. I do like this guy already. Where should I begin? Right. It all started when Lorden left his home. He was 18 at the time, if I remember correctly. That clever, well, I won't say that word, was always too big of a fish for his birthplace, and he knew that. Left as soon as he could, but cleverness at such a young age always means 2 things, being arrogant and hot-headed. His plan was to set out on a big adventure. That's it. Pretty detailed, huh? A path like that was paved with skeletons of young idiots, but none of them was Lorden. Either way, he was wandering for days. Days soon turned into weeks, and his rations into dust. He was useless as a hunter, back then at least, so berries and mushrooms were all he could get, so obviously he needed some coins. He came across a manor with orchards so vast they seemed like an ocean. Lorden hired himself there. Wait, how did he hire himself? A week of backbreaking labor had passed. His hands were covered in blisters, red skin from the scorching sun, knees pulsating from pain. I must say, you're really an amazing storyteller. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, yeah. Ooh, shut up. Do you want me to finish? Where was I? All right. He was exhausted from all the strenuous work he'd done. Went to the lord of the manor with a smile on his face to collect the payment. His stomach was already full with fantasies of all the delicious treats he was dreaming of buying. And all of that was ruined by the hand of the lord holding a couple of lousy coins. Lorden was furious. That was merely a fraction of the pay he was supposed to acquire. He started shouting at the lord, demanding justice. Peasants were just flies to the lord, disgusting, replaceable insects. And what do you do with a fly which buzzes too loudly? Both of the lord's palms struck Lorden's ears with the strength of an ox. Lorden fell to the ground stunned, and the lord's guards threw him out of the manor like garbage, stealing that few pathetic coins while doing so, if I might add. It wasn't until evening when Lorden regained his hearing, and with it came a fervent thought of revenge. Your uncle was quite a capable fighter when I met him 10 years later, but he wasn't back then. He knew the guards would massacre him if he only came close. So he needed to find another way to fulfill his vengeance. Lorden was always ambitious, but that hatred fueled him like nothing before. All right. What came later was me becoming bored of this conversation. Go away. Wow, what a cliffhanger. I could do whatever I want. Scram, I have things to do. What things? I'll do them for you. I'll do anything you want. Just please tell me the whole story. Oh, I don't really want to do that. Yes, I know I'm annoying. Ooh, I could... Please. I like that option. That's what I'm going to pick. Fine, just shut up already. Just say what needs to be done. You won't regret it. Here, grab the shovel. It's a piece of crap, but it will do. There are clay deposits behind my house. Go there and dig some clay for me. Wow. Clay? That's your pressing need? You have a pottery addiction or something? Yeah, that's what I'll do. First of all, I don't need to explain myself to you, child. Second, it's for medical purposes, and that's the answer that will fully satisfy you. Got it? All right, cool. They do seem to be handing out the Dynasty rep, if you will, much quicker than they did before. Now, I did see those clay deposits. I know I'm overloaded too, which is a bit of a problem, but that's all right. He needs 5. All right. So we'll dig up and get some clay, I guess. Ugh. Wooden deer figurine. What's up with these wooden deer figurines? I'm going to take them. Maybe I can sell them. They're just laying back here, I guess. Oh, this is going to be a pain to walk to. Oh, all right. This Uniegost story thing is. Oh, now I'm overweight. Let's see. I do have clay though. That's pretty cool. I'm actually gonna drop these logs. I found them on the way, to be honest. So there you go. They're just laying back there now. They're just logs. I can always pick them up later. I'm not too worried about them. They're easy to get, very quick. And especially once I get a lumber mill going, it's not even going to matter anymore. All right, Sambor. You awesome man, you. All right, here's the clay you want to finish your story. So as I've said already, Lorden wasn't much of a fighter back then. He didn't have any money nor connections. But he had one thing, an unusual ability. You see, from an early age, Lorden was an exceptionally good liar. Well, that doesn't seem like he's a very good man at all. No sweaty palms, no voice cracks, no tells really. Calm, steady breaths, eye contact held always. So he was a sociopath. That's what I'm getting. He eventually managed to handle any kind of pressure, even in the craziest of situations. But it wasn't that at first. He felt no pressure lying, no stress at all. It was as natural for him as breathing. He had absolutely no remorse. He was a sociopath. He came up with a plan so immensely moronic and unrealistic that it's really hard to believe that it worked so perfectly. At first, he convinced the nearby town tailor to sew him a whole new set of clothes, worthy of the most wealthy nobleman. The finest of fabrics, silken threads, you name it. Horrendously expensive. All right. So how did he manage to afford it, you may ask? It's simple. He didn't pay for it. All right, so he did steal it. I said no such thing. Lorden wasn't a thief, not in the traditional meaning of the word at least. Apart from that, did I finish the story? While wearing his new clothes, he traveled to the castle of the king of the realm and entered it. All right, yeah, this is weird. You're absolutely right. It is impossible. I added that word. It's mad to even consider trying to pull that off. But Lorden, he just walked straight in. I don't blame you for doubting me. I would have been first to doubt a thing like that if I didn't see him doing it hundreds of times later with my own eyes. Anyway, he walked right into the castle, and once he was there, he followed through with his plan. All right? Betting his wife. Oh. Yeah, whose wife? The king's wife. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So the queen, yes. All right, we're getting somewhere. Yeah, so that was his plan all along, to just lay with the king's wife. Like, that's not going to have any repercussions. Exactly that. Okay. It is a dumb plan. I told you, but it worked like a charm. I still don't get it. How did it work? After the lovemaking, he dressed up, deliberately leaving his undergarments on the bedside, and told the queen he'd be right back with some refreshments. Then he went to one of the king's guards and told him that he saw the queen with the company of a strange man sneaking into one of the chambers. The guard rushed in and witnessed the queen, naked in bed with a man's clothes right next to her. Oh, this ain't good. As a loyal servant, the guard reported the matter directly to the king himself, who, as you can probably imagine, became furious to say the least. He couldn't really punish his wife. That would be bad for his reputation. But he could pursue her lover. Unfortunately for him, at this point, Lorden was long gone from the castle, riding a beautiful bay mare that he borrowed from the stable into the sunset. Yeah, I still don't get it. You see, the king didn't catch the filthy seducer, but he didn't mean he didn't track him down and find him. To do so, the only track he could follow was the one thing that Lorden left behind, except his undergarments and the pleasurable memory for the queen, his name. Not his real name, of course, the name he used when introducing himself to the queen. The Lord of the Orchard. Precisely. Now you get it. Oh. Didn't that get the Lord hanged? That seemed pretty extreme. Yeah. He didn't get killed. That wouldn't be Lorden's style. The queen begged for his life to be spared, so the king threw him in the dungeon, where he spent all the days he had left. Well, that doesn't even sound any better. I don't like the idea that I could say Lorden was amazing. That's not really... Wow. Don't get the wrong idea about his reasons. Lorden didn't get through all of that just because of what the Lord did to him, you see. The Lord was cruel, merciless brute. He mistreated all of the subjects, killed for fun, raped for sport. People used to call him Laundryman because of one of the habits was drowning. Okay. I will say it this time, his bastards, because it was quite literally his illegitimate children in the lake right after birth, like unwanted kittens. Oh. Lorden needed to stop him, and he did. But that's not the end of the story. After the Lord's capture, someone had to take his place. He didn't have any rightful successors, but then, with just an uncannily perfect timing, came a distant cousin of the Lord's, a charming young man with 2 different eyes. He easily acquired all possessions of the sentenced relative, but Lorden didn't want any of that, not for himself, so he took only 3 bags of coins from the treasury and left everything else in the hands of the peasants. They were elated. He is still probably worshipped there, I can tell you that. Oh, and one more thing. Why 3 bags, you might ask? Yeah, that's easy. One for the tailor, another for the stableman he took the horse from, and the last for himself. With the exact amount of coins he was rightfully supposed to earn for his work at the orchard. I told you Lorden wasn't a thief, and that was that. He mounted his beautiful mare and left the realm, continuing his adventure. At least that's the story you used to tell us. So nothing of that may be true at all. But that's just how it was with Lorden. Alright. Yeah, alright, we're going to go with that option. I never met anyone else like that, but don't get me wrong, he had his flaws. But the things he could do, his tongue wasn't even silver. It was made out of pure gold. Alright, so I still want to know about this undying fist. Oh, I thought that would be obvious by now. On the day Lorden's mission was born, he knew that the spoiled, rotten elites like that were scattered all over the world, draining life and dignity from the hard-working simple folk, and that he was capable of stopping them. To some extent, at least. So that's exactly what he started doing, overthrowing corrupted lords and giving back to the community. Well, let's say he sounds like a hero. Well, it wasn't like, I guess you could say that. So how do you join the pack? It sounds like a Robin Hood story. Lorden was working solo until he met Uniegost. That rat's agile fingers could work where Lorden's tongue didn't. And then they needed someone with other talents that they were lacking, like strength, manliness, bravery, independence, gallantry, integrity. Yeah, I'm seeing this. So they recruited the best there was. I was between jobs at the time, so I gave them a chance, and finally the pack started to really make a difference. But I don't like to brag. Oh yeah, humble. Thank you for noticing. People at my level don't need to boast about our skills. Just like the sun doesn't need to prove it's bright. I do like this guy. Anyhow, I already spoke more words to you than I did the last 5 years to anybody. So it's time for you to go. And preferably, don't come back. Ever. All right. Yeah. Leave now, and in return for giving away my location, deliver this delicious meal to Uniegost. It's his favorite, a knuckle sandwich. Do you want me to hit him in the face? Did I stutter? No, sir. All right. You know what? We're heading back to Uniegost. It's only fair that he gets this knuckle sandwich for making me listen to all this story all this time. Finally made it back to Gustovia after forever. I even had to wade all the way across the lake, which was interesting. Mostly because it put my torch out. I wasn't expecting it to do that, but it did, so I was happy about that. Let's see if our good friend Uniegost will even wake up. Where are you at? Ah, it's always nice to see you again. Uniegost, hello. I've talked with Sambor. Yeah, he's a real sweetheart, isn't he? He's the most terrifying person I ever met. The sweetest, like a jar of honey. I'm gonna go with that. That's Sambor for you. I see he did tell me about my uncle, though, the story about the Lord of the Orchards. He had some unexpectedly good storytelling skills, doesn't he? Yes, he really does. I was downright astonished by that. One time, I swear he went on for over a year without speaking a single word. But when we were sitting by the fire, he remembered some anecdote, laughed out loud, and began his tale. Went from total mute to master of ceremonies. The narrative was so gripping, it was hard not to listen. He even did voices. But after finishing, he became silent again. I've never fully understood that side of him. Yeah, right. A theater genius trapped in the body of a bear wrestler. He actually asked me to give you something. Really? What is that? A knuckle sandwich. All right. Yeah, that sounds exactly like Sambor. So, are you going to deliver? Do you want me to? Oh, sure. I love people punching me in the face. Around the valley, I'm known for it. Would you be so kind to do it for free, though? I'm all out of my being punched in the face budget. Yeah, don't. Sambor just likes to say crap like that. All right, but if he asks, I'll tell him you knocked me out cold. Just out of curiosity, what did Sambor tell you about him becoming part of the pack? He said that you were looking for some of the best to recruit and that he was the obvious choice. Yeah, it seems like something he would say. Yeah, it's not the truth, is it? It's not a pleasant memory, but I believe you deserve to know the whole story. We didn't recruit him. Well, I guess we did. Lorden did. But that wasn't a matter of choice. When Lorden and I started to follow his mission together, we were rather successful. Everything was going smoothly, too easy even. We were doing a lot of good, putting many well-deserved smiles on oppressed faces. That's when we let our guards down. Oh, no. There was a secret guild formed by a few of the higher-ranking knights and barons. We called them the Vendors. Okay, this guy and his names. Bunch of really heartless, yeah. Their most lucrative business was selling a living merchandise. And no, I'm not talking about animals. All right. Slavery was strictly forbidden in that realm. The queen was adamant about that. Well, the Vendors had their own set of rules to follow. They caged them like cattle, mostly women and children, forced to fight rats for the poor little rations they were being given in the damp dungeon they were held. The guild preferred quantity over quality, so they didn't care about diseases. They didn't tend the wounds. All right. Sometimes it took them weeks to get the dead out of the cages. Survival of the fittest, or rather outlasting of the least fortunate. It was simply horrific. If you ask me, all of the guild deserved a cruel and slow death, but that wasn't how we operated. Lorden made it very clear from day one. We were never to take a life. That was the most important of rules. Okay. Anyway, we managed to get everyone out. The carriages full of broken people. Even the horses kept their heads low, mourning. The despair in the air was even more poisonous than the stench of the rotting flesh. And in all that, we forgot to make ourselves safe as well. The mercenaries caught us and brought to the torture chamber. Shouldn't it be us to the torture chamber? Yeah, this gruesome place had an even worse room hidden inside. The Vendors weren't in their patient mood, so they sent their worst torturer right away. I was horror-struck, truly petrified, could barely breathe. Lorden didn't say a word, just looked at me. His eyes were relaxed but focused. I realized he wanted me to be calm as well, but I just couldn't. He went first. Torture strapped Lorden to the chair and just started swinging. His fists were like anvils. Every hit drew blood and broke bones. In a matter of seconds, Lorden's face looked like a bloody pulp. The only thing poking through it was his smile. This guy is a sociopath. It was one of the many times I wondered if he was even human. The torturer quickly realized that he needed different tools for such a unique specimen and went to grab his blades. That's when Lorden started talking. He was making him offers, one after another, but the torturer just kept carving his torso like he was preparing a steak to be grilled. There was so much blood I could taste it in my mouth. I wanted to pass out just to run away from all of it, but I couldn't. My heart was pounding way too fast. Suddenly, the torturer stopped, and he looked at me and back at Lorden. This was the only thing he said. If you're lying, you're going to watch me do the same to him. I was about to puke, but Lorden just nodded. So he untied us both and helped us escape. There were more mercenaries on our way, heavily armed. No one stopped us. Even they were terrified of that guy. We managed to get out in one piece. Well, we managed to get out alive. Lorden's wounds wouldn't heal for weeks. And even after he was scarred so badly, it looked like he had chainmail stitched to his skin. But we escaped death, and its emissary became one of us. Oh, the torturer, it was Sambor. Ah. Now I understand why Sambor didn't want to tell the truth. It sounded absolutely horrid. To be honest, the nightmares of that night never stopped. You think I wanted the cutthroat anywhere near me? I couldn't get a wink of sleep with him around for days. I was constantly watching my back, watching his every move. All right. That's simple. Lorden made a deal with him, promised him the only thing that mattered to the brute. Okay, what was it? Money. A whole lot more than what the guild was paying him, and a cut from every heist we did. But couldn't you just pay him off or run away? That's not the way Lorden did things. He was a master liar, but when he gave someone his word for real, he never backed down. Besides, as we later found out, Sambor wasn't evil in his nature. He was just a true soldier. Did what was asked of him. Lorden spent hours talking with him, explaining our rules of conduct. Sambor never broke any of them, not once. Okay, well, honestly, I hope you will never have to. I've been through a lot, and after all these years, the things I wish you the most is to have a boring, steady life. Compared with your stories, boring life sure sounds pleasant. Yeah. Then I have a special quest for you that will help achieve that help achieve that boredom. All right, what is it? I need you to go to Borowo, find Ida, and get my sight back from her. All right, I'll do it. Ow. Well, that was a story, wasn't it? It's actually almost morning, but at this point, I'm going to have to just run outside and sleep outside again. I don't know if I'm ever going to get back to my little hut this season, which I think pretty interesting. It's just spring. We're doing 30-day seasons, too, so we got time. But in the meantime, I need to find a place to sleep, which means putting out my fire wherever it allows me to build it. And I guess we'll do some more questing tomorrow, get all this stuff done, and then head back, which isn't bad because it is increasing our dynasty rep by a good bit. It's given a nice jump, especially early on, and hopefully that will allow us to get a nice jump on our settlement, because you're going to run into issues very early on with building limits until you get enough dynasty rep to increase your building. Oh, actually, look, there's one already. I must have already done it. It was here from yesterday. All right, well, this is where we end for today. I'll see you in the next one.